Alright, this video is going to be how to put a 2 5/8 odometer or comparable gauge in one of your vents in a Mark 1 Audi TT. I'm going to choose this vent. First thing you gotta do, put a tiny screwdriver somewhere in here in the little indent right in there and just pull the actual vent itself out. So I'm going to turn the camera off, do that, and I'll be back. Alright, now the vent's out. You don't have to use a screwdriver if you don't want to. I just put my fingernails under there and just pulled it right out. That way you don't damage any of that with a screwdriver. Not that it wouldn't matter, but that's how you get the vent out. And as I always say, jobs are much better if you got yourself a can of chew. So get yourself a can, it'll make it much more enjoyable. Alright, now you can take your vent apart, take all the guts out of here. I didn't get that on camera because it was a bitch, but inside these actual little tab things right here, you gotta put a screwdriver in there. It's good to use 2 or 3 small screwdrivers and just pry outward. Now to get the boost line in here, all the way back in there, down through here so you can fit it through the engine, I'm just gonna use a piece of lock wire. A coat hanger would work great also. Just gonna tape it to here with electrical tape and feed it right through. Next, gotta take off the damn dash. Start by taking off the fuse box cover and a couple other bolts underneath there. They're all these torque screw bits. Alright, now that all that bullshit's off, you'll be able to feed your boost line. Mine's sitting right there. You can see with the electrical tape on it. And then there's a little plug that is right, probably can't see it on the damn camera, it's right there where the light's flashing. You'll see a plug on the back, it's like right above the gas pedal. That's where you'll feed your boost line through. Here's a better picture of the actual plug. Just push it on through and it should land somewhere on the floor inside. Now that it's pushed on through, you can feed your boost line up through there when you're ready. Once you got your boost line fed through the motor, use your little fitting right here to get ready to attach to the back of the gauge. It just goes on there like that, and then this piece right here goes on the back of the gauge. Don't forget to use some of this Teflon tape on these threads. Now in the meantime, you're going to want to grab some hot glue or some epoxy. And you got to epoxy this piece to this piece, because without one of these rings sitting around here, this piece doesn't stay attached. So as long as you do that, whenever it goes in, it'll be nice and flush and look factory. Also, in the meantime, grab yourself some foam. Go ahead and plug up inside there. This is just foam out of an old gun case, and push it in there. That way the other 3 vents still have this, they have better blowing power, since one of your vents are, going to be inoperable. Here's just a quick shot of how I put the foam in there. Now that vent will still get good ventilation. It'll also blow a little bit harder, as will the other ones. Now before you go too far, also don't forget you're going to have to wire up your light real quick. So grab your light that came with your gauge if it's an odometer like this one. And I'm going to take this wire bundle down here, make a long extension wire, that way I can wire up the light. Alright, now I got my extension wired up. It's pretty long, but I'd rather have too much wire than too less. And the positive wire, I went ahead and just put a long strip of black tape so the wires don't get mixed up since they're both red. So I'm going to fish them through there and run them over, and I'll get back to you. Now that shit is run through underneath the dash. I'm going to grab the, since the Audis have the red bulb, or since the bulbs turn red at night and shit, I'm just going to use the red bulb cover on that one. That way it kind of matches the factory gauges. So go ahead and get everything connected to the gauge, and I'll get back to you. Again, I don't think you have to, but go ahead and use a little Teflon tape on these threads just to make sure there's no leaks. Now using a 10mm and a 13mm wrench, go ahead and snug that one up. Not too tight because you don't want to kink anything, but just make sure it's good and tight. Then make sure you install your light. Now that you got it pressed up in there, damn it, oh, there you go. Now that you got it pressed up in there, it looks pretty dang factory. So now just finish wiring it up and shit. I'll show you how to do that too. Now it does make it a little easier to take the engine cover off to get to this port. So that's just 2 little tiny screws. You just turn it, turn it, and the engine cover comes right off. Now this is where you're going to tap for your boost line off the fuel pressure regulator. You're just going to cut it here, use one of those T-fittings, and then wire the boost line right to that. As you can see, use a T-fitting, a little fitting that came with the gauge, and it's hooked right up. So I'm going to start it up and just do like a functionality check. Now as you can see, the boost gauge is working, and car's on obviously. I need to wash your fluid. That is working, so now I'll finish wiring up the other shit. Now you can go ahead and put your engine cover back on, and you're done under the hood. Now it's really hard to see in the fuse box, but fuse 23, which is, hang on, the very last one over here on the corner of these little fuses is for your left side parking lights. Just tap one of the power lines into there. I grounded mine to this little bolt up here on this little brace thing, and to test it out to make sure it works. Turn it off, boom, it works. So now I'm gonna get to zip tying all these wires up down here, cleaning everything up, and then putting this damn dash piece back on. Alright, now the dash is all back together. That was a bit of a bitch to get in with one person, but it's all in. Now you should have, it's a little dark in here, but now you got a nice factory looking gauge. I mean, obviously it's not factory, it's Autometer, but looks kind of factory with the silver trim around here. So now I'll take it for a test drive and enjoy it. I'll take it for a quick test run real quick to show you guys. It's gonna be kind of dark in here, but I'm gonna get on the highway real quick, that way I can build a little boost. Of course, then it is stoplight, but I built a little boost, and it worked. Listen to some good old country. If you don't like country, fuck you. Here you guys go. It's dark in here, but you'll be able to see it.